Hi guys, this video will be an encapsulated nails video. I will be using Apres nails. These are nail tips made out of gel. And then I'm also gonna link down below the nail set that I'm showing you right now that I did on my left hand. If you're interested, I use acrylic to do this set. And like I said, I'm going to be using the Apres Gel X. These are the long coffin ones. Mostly everything on their sale is sold out right now, but any gel tips will do. I know Ina Couture has some, I know Kira Sky has some, and a ton more. This is a cuticle pusher I'm going to be using. It is a straight cuticle pusher, and this one specifically is from Sally's. You can use any other cuticle pusher that you would like. Now I just want to get into details with the gel tips because I have done a video on these specific ones because I've had these for over a year and I only use them on myself, and I got a lot of comments of confusion regarding these tips as why didn't I pop them off, and why did I when I apply them, why did I file a top, and just a whole bunch of things. So these nail tips are specifically made out of gel, so any gel product applied with it will adhere and will help it the strength. So I've tried them before with polygel and they work great, and I've tried them with builder gel and they work great. And here I'm just showing you with my sanding bed, and I'm just cleaning up the cuticle area and the nail bed and prepping it for the application. So these do not pop off because they're not dual forms. They're not tips made out of plastic. They're not like your usual tips that you use to apply acrylic on top. These tips are strong enough to hold their own and stay on your nails for 3 to 4 plus weeks. All you need to do is use some sort of base or builder gel just so it can adhere and have some gel in between the nail tip and the gel tip. That way you get your structure, you get your apex, and you'll see as the video goes on that I will be showing you guys that. So I just wanted to clear that up, and I do usually buff and file them, the top of it, especially because I'm going to be using gel polish on top, and it adheres a lot better. I never really use base when it comes to polishing these nail tips. I just file them down, clean them with alcohol, and then I polish them with 2 layers of color, and then I go with the top coat. You don't have to polish these after you're done if you want them with whatever design you did them, or if you get color ones. If you get color gel tips, you can just leave them as is. Your choice. I still file, I still buff. I want to clean it up as much as I can. So like I said, that's all options, but I just wanted to clear that up. So the first thing is you want to find your size, and you want to make sure it fits sidewall to sidewall. And I'll show you when I turn the nail tip around that there's a little space between the nail tip and your nail, and that's what you want because that's where the gel product is going to go, and it's going to build that arch, that apex for strength so they don't pop off. And also another thing is that if you're gonna encapsulate these nail tips, you want to make sure that you go a size bigger. So first let me tell you what I'm showing you guys right now. I am just kind of buffing, etching the nails. You're supposed to do this, and you're supposed to do the same thing to your nails. You want to prep them, and this is the way that you do them. This is the way that the Apres nails tell me to do them, and that's how I do all the following. The gel I'm going to be using to build is from the gel bottle. It is their clear builder gel. This gel is amazing. It is my favorite. As of right now, I think they're only for professionals. They used to be for everyone. If you're still able to get it, definitely get it. And this is the base coat from Y.E.D Couture that I'm going to be using. You don't need to use a base coat if your builder gel already has a base coat. Now I'm just cleansing my nails before I go in there. So back to what I was saying is if you're going to encapsulate these nails like I am with these flowers, you want to get a bigger size. And I'm also going to use these 3D glitters. I wasn't sure which one I was going to use. I'm also going to use this gel. I'll link everything down below. I do have a full video on this specific gel. It's from Savillon, and it's really, really good. It's very, very glittery. The first thing I'm going to do is just put a base layer. It is extremely, extremely thin. Like I said, this is the way that works for me. This is how my nails last 3, 4, 5 weeks, or until I'm ready to do a fill. After that, I cure the product, and then I go in with the gel of my choice, which is this nice chunky blue glitter. Since it is more on the chunky glitter, I want to be very, very thin with this, and I look like I'm putting a lot, but I'm really not. I keep going back and forth, brushing it off to make sure it is as thin as possible. And then I'm going to cure this layer and go in with the second layer of this because I want it to be more glittery, not so much transparent. So once this cures, just know that this hardens, so it becomes stiff. So these nail tips are very flexible. So when you first try them on and measure them and they fit from sidewall to sidewall, they're flexible as heck. I love them for that. But once you start encapsulating this, putting layers of product on here, and you start curing them, they harden and they won't have any flexibility whatsoever. So if you get exactly the size for your nail and you encapsulate it with either glitter or any other polygel or any kind of gel in there, it will not fit the same, you guys. So make sure if you're doing any type of encapsulation, whatever size fits exactly sidewall to sidewall, pressing down very gently, you grab the next size, the bigger size, so that when you encapsulate it, it fits you exactly. I hope that makes sense. So I just did a base coat on my nail, and now I'm applying builder gel. And as you can see, I'm doing very small amounts of builder gel, enough to cover my full nail, my natural nail. As soon as I do that, I press it down and I move it straight away into the LED UV lamp because I don't want to mess it up. I don't want it to move around. And this is how it looks after it gets cured. Perfectly, no leaking from the sidewalls, no leaking on the cuticle. And if there is, do not be scared to start over. Just remove it, clean it off with acetone again, and then apply more builder gel and retry it. You can try as many times as you want before you put it in the lamp. And here I'm just showing you the next two nails are going to be just clear nails. I'm just using the nail tips as is because I'm going to polish on top of them. So I did base on both my nail and the tip, and then I go on with the builder gel. And here you can see it a little bit more clear how I press down enough to cover my entire nail. Once it is covered with no air bubbles, I cure it for 30 seconds, and this is how they should come out. You should have a nice, really not too crazy noticeable apex, but really nice. And there should be no leakage. If you by any chance do have some, clean it up with the brush before you cure it, or else you're going to sit there having a file, and sometimes you can get your skin. So I do the same thing with my other nail because like I said, I'm doing two clear nail tips, and then the rest of them will be encapsulated nails. And I've done this quite some time, so I get to know some tricks and stuff like that. So as much as I can know and remember, I will tell you guys. So here I put the builder gel. I did base and then builder gel. And I'm using the builder gel to hold on to the flowers because it is a lot thicker than the base is. So it'll grab it, and it will also fill in any air bubbles. When I use the thinner one, I tend to get more air bubbles when it's just a base and then I put the flowers. So I love putting on the builder gel, which is a lot thicker consistency. Put on the flowers, and you want to press down on the flowers. You want to make sure that the gel is holding all the flowers so it doesn't move and you don't have any of them sticking out, especially from behind your nail, because nobody wants gunky crazy nails behind. And you're going to put a layer of gel eventually towards the end. So once I picked all the ones I want, I go ahead and cure this. And then I go in with my builder gel to apply this to the back of my nails. And I do encapsulate the entire nail very thinly. You can definitely apply it to your nails, and then afterwards go in there to really encapsulate it. So here I'm just checking it, and like I said, I don't fully show you me putting it on because I work really fast. Once I get it to where I want it, I go ahead and cure it right away. And I do the same thing here. I applied the builder gel, and then I applied the glitter on the nail tips, and I use my little dotting tool with a little bit of gel to grab onto this chunky glitter. Now there are some that you will see, there are some glitters that are way too big, and the reason why I didn't put these on here and I removed them is because this nail tip, specifically the pinky, is very small, and if I put these chunky glitters, there's going to be a gap of the glitter and the gel nail, if that makes any sense. There's going to be a gap in between there because they're so round and big that it's not going to be able to be pressed down. So you want to make sure the glitter you're using, depending on the finger, fits well enough. Keep turning it over to check the other side to make sure there's no air bubbles as much as you can. I mean, no one's perfect. You're always going to get something. So that's just a great tip, to keep making sure that you get no air bubbles. And as soon as I decide that's exactly where I want it, I go on with some builder gel, and then I apply base on my nail tips, and I press them on and cure them. And that is how my nails turned out afterwards. Now I'm just going to grab my file, especially the two clear nails, because I'm going to be adding gel polish. And that's all you have to do. Just remove the shine from it. And then this is an option. You don't have to do this, but I can't stand when these grow out and then you can see the difference between this and your natural nail. I hate the gaps and all that. So you can go in there with an electric file or just a regular file. Just be very careful on not cutting yourself up or getting too close to the cuticle. You just want to blend any imperfections. And this is not even fast forwarded right now. It's just really quick cleanup, just to make sure when it grows out. So this is optional. You don't have to do this. You can literally be done right here because these nail tips are shiny as is. But I always like to buff them and file them and maybe reshape them if they're too long. I'm actually surprised that I'm keeping them this length. But I usually clip them and file them a lot shorter, but it's really your choice. Don't be afraid to take your time and really get in there. Just because certain people do it faster, do it a certain way, doesn't mean you can't switch it up and see what works for you. So then I brush off any powder, anything else extra, and I go straight in with the color. This is a cat eye blue polish. If I can find the link for this, because I bought this a while ago, I'll link it down below. And I did get this from AliExpress, so I'm pretty sure if you order now anything from AliExpress or Wish, it's probably going to take a bit, especially from AliExpress, anywhere from like a month to 3 months. So just FYI. But I really do love that blue. So what I do is I first put one layer, I cure it, then I go in with the second layer, and I wanted to see how the cat eye will turn out with just the second layer. And you can always go back and do another layer. You don't have to stop if you don't like the color. And here after the second layer, I did use the magnet, which is just a square magnet that gives you that cat eye effect. And I realized that it wasn't exactly the color I wanted. It wasn't as strong as blue as I wanted. So I do go back to do another layer after this one. I'm not sure if I got it off camera or not, but I cure it right away so the magnet polish doesn't move. So I'm really quick. I go into the lamp and take it out. When it's for clients, I just have them flash cure as fast as I can. And now I'm going to be using this beautiful gold polish. It's one of my favorite gold polishes from the gel bottle. I'll link it down below as well. I'm almost done with this polish. It's really, really pretty. I do 2 coats of this gold polish for this nail. And then I'm also going to be using another polish on top of this one because I do love the glitter that it has. It's like a silver gold chunky glitter, but I only do 1 layer of the next polish, and here it is. It's also from AliExpress. It is the number W13. Like I said, if I can find all these polishers and everything, I'll link them down below in my description box, as well as other review videos of any of these products that I'm showing you guys. So this one is just a very, very thin layer because this glitter is very chunky. If you don't use it correctly, you will get a very chunky nail. Now I'm gonna go into my crystals and then see what I want to put. I just move my fingers around to try to match whatever will match it best, and I don't show the full process because I don't want this video to take 2.5 hours to do. Plus I'm using a new editing program that took me 3 days to edit this, which I cannot believe. Usually it takes me a day or so to edit, a few hours, maybe not a few hours, like 4 or 5 hours to edit normally, but this one took me about 3 days to figure out, and I had to clean up my computer so I can move faster. So just bear with me, guys. It's my first time editing on this new professional software, which is so new to me. It's so hard now. It takes like 20 steps to do one thing compared to before. So just trying to get better quality for you guys out there. So I just use some dip glue, which is just nail glue. That's all it is. And then after I pick the spots, I put the crystals on there. And then I will make sure I grab some activator and put some activator on the glue so I can dry and hold the crystals for 3-4+ weeks. And then after all this, I will be top coating my nails, and I'm gonna be using one of my favorites. This is like my favorite 3-4 top coat. It is from Models 1. It is their top coat as well as their base. Is really good, long lasting, non-yellowing. I do have a link for it down below if you guys are interested, as well as, like I said, as many of the products I'm using I will link down below. If it's not linked, it's because it's either out of stock or I cannot find it. But that is it. I top coat each and every one of them just once. You can do it twice. It's really your choice. Also, as soon as I am done, I'm gonna be making sure I put a layer of top coat behind my nails because they are clear, transparent nails, as well as I did encapsulate them, so these are more in the raw. So you want to make sure that there's nothing peeking through, none of the stems, none of the dry flowers are sticking out. You can definitely go in there and use little scissors or anything you would like, but these stayed in place. They're not popping out. And then when you eat, you don't want any gunk in between anything, so you want to seal it. If it means 2 layers of it, do what makes you comfortable and what looks good for you, but usually 1 layer works just great because I take my time and I flatten them out. But this is the result using the Apres nail tips. They are gel tips, so if you guys have any gel tips or want to get some, Nail Couture has inexpensive ones, but I heard that they're not the most best quality. I'm not sure, I haven't tried them, but it is easy, quick nails that look like you know what you're doing, which is awesome and great for those of us that are at home and doing our own manicures. I hope you guys liked this video and that it helped you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.